Greetings everyone, Steve Briggs here. In this video I'll be demonstrating the connectivity of two networks that are running two separate protocols. So that will allow me to actually have, in a real life scenario, two separate networks in maybe two separate, same building, connected by a serial or whatever the case may be, and running different routing protocols, but they could be able to communicate with each other. And one way of doing this will be using static routes. I've done this video like twice before, but I realized the audio was bad, so I decided to do it over again. So with everything I've already set up all the IP addresses for the network, so let me just clarify. I'll just do a show IP interface INT. Well, INT could be for short. I show IP interface brief. So I'll just clarify stuff here. So at present, before I go, let me just take off this network here, this cable. So we have the fast Ethernet 0/0, and this is the IP address here. So that's this network here, and this is the IP address for that network is actually 192.168.1.1. that is the gateway address here. So we go on to the serials now, which is serial 0/0/0, and therefore the IP address will be 10.10.10.1. This is the network address here with the slash notation, which is a /30. So shifting on to the other router now. I'm doing this so the users will the viewers will actually get an understanding of what happened, catch your drift. So we have the fast Ethernet network here, which is a LAN network running 172.16.1.0 /27 notation. The IP address, as you can see here, that's the IP address for the interface. Go on to the serial now. The IP address for that serial will be here. So if I do ping 10.10.10.1, I will get connectivity because this router knows about this router here, because that is directly connected. They are directly connected, and it will know about this router will know about all these devices here because of the updates it gets from the switch, and the switcher will, so if I have, let me see, I have a /27 16 IP addresses. It's actually 32. I'll get 30 usable, so I can connect 30 devices, and once I within the IP address range, they will know based on the they will know, then they will be able to ping with the router and back and forth, but they will not be able to reach here, because this information will this device, when this device sends its information to the router will be only able to ping up to this network here. So to verify this information and to fix this up, to get these two networks to connect, I will do the static routes and the routing protocol. Alright, so let me just run a quick ping here, and on the way I'll explain some more. So I'll try to ping 192.168.1.1. So it marks destination host unreachable. I try to ping the gateway for this network here. So on router 2, we'll be running the RIP version 2, and we'll be doing the static route. So I do config T for short, that is for config terminal, router RIP, we do version 2. I'll be putting in the command no auto summary, because it's a classless network we are working with, and I'll do network 172.16.1.0. but RIP, you don't have to put in subnet mask or wildcard bits, sorry. Exit IP route. So with the IP route, the first thing you put in will be the actual network address, the network that you want to get to. So we are on router 2, and we would like to get onto this network here, so that will be 192.168.1.0. what is the wildcard mask, or not the wildcard mask, but the subnet mask of this network? Well, that will be 255.255.255.240. and then now what you have to put in is the actual gateway into that. What router, what is the gateway to get into that router? because with that, once we get into that router, the router now will be processing the information because of its routing table. So that gateway will be this network here, which will be 10.10.10.1. so that's the address we'll be putting in, and we are finished with that here. So we shift into router 1 now, and we're going to do the configurations. Config terminal, and we are going to do the dynamic routing protocol, OSPF. Router OSPF, and you put in a process ID. I'll just use 10. There's a long range you can choose from. Then I do the network 192.168.1.0. remember, we are doing OSPF for this network here. RIP was for this network. On top here we'll have the static routes. So I do that. Now with OSPF you use wildcard bits. Wildcard bits will actually be the inverse of the subnet mask. So I don't know if you could recall when we put in this is the network here. This is the same network here. We had the subnet mask here, so the wildcard bits will actually be just subtracting all this from 255, and what that will give us in the long run, it will give us 0.0.0.15. Now as we say, with OSPF you have to put in the area, and by default we are working at single OSPF, so the area will be 0. Alright, so now we're going into the IP route now, the static route. So we do IP route. Remember, we are on router 1, say R1, and we want to get to this network here. So basically that's the network. There's the first information we put in the network address of the destination network. The destination network's address. Then we put in the wildcard mask, the subnet mask of that network. That'll be 255.255.255.224. And before we actually proceed, we have to see what is the gateway to get into the router that has that network, the connected gateway, and that will be 10.10.10.2. because remember, we had a /30 notation, which is at 255.255.255.252 subnet mask, giving us 4 IP addresses, 2 usable, 1 for network and then 1 for host, for broadcast. But before I enter this IP route here, I will try a ping again and see what happens. So I will try to ping. That was earlier when I was doing some work here. It's the same work. This is PC 1.1 trying to ping PC 2.1. So PC 2.1, you see the IP address. I will just go back to so we're trying to ping it, it's not going in. When I put in this IP route here now, we'll go back to router 1. When I press enter, this route will go in, and we shall try to ping again to see what happens. So as you can see, we can actually ping. So folks, basically that is it. Simple as it is. Just set up the IP addresses for the network, run the routing protocol, do your static routes, and you're good to go. So I hope this video was informative, and also don't worry about this here. This was just for when I was doing the console lines and the global configuration and SSH. I have another video in terms of setting up SSH on a switch. It's a little different to setting it up on a router, but they are close at the same time. They have a lot of similarities. So thanks for watching this video. Hope it was informative. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment.